Hello, welcome to another edition of Convict Inc. I'm your host, Robert Rosso. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please do so. If you like this video, please push like and share with your family, friends, neighbors, enemies, etc. And join my membership. And send money to Cash App. NoMorePrisonCell.com. No more prison cell. And just send money wherever. Just kidding. The Outlaw Motorcycles Club, gang, organized crime gang, whatever you want to say. I'm not kind of being funny there. I believe they're the second biggest in the nation right now. I believe it's the Hells Angels, followed by the Outlaws and the Pagans. Although, I must note, the Pagans seem to be quickly gaining steam. 1997, an indictment came out of the Eastern District of Wisconsin alleging 17 members of the Outlaw Motorcycle Gang were bad boys. They charged them with the RICO, Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, aka RICO Act. The crimes inside the RICO Act included murder, robbery, arson, narcotics trafficking, and other serious offenses. According to the indictment, many of those acts were committed with the intent to control outlaw territory and keep rival motorcycle gangs, including the Hells Angels, from gaining a foothold in the Midwest. Now, it says 17 got indicted. Out of 17, 5 got life sentences. Those 5 were Kevin O'Neill, aka Spike, who I know, David Cadleck, Randall Miller, Carl J. Warnick, and Harvey Powers. So, I know Kevin O'Neill is Spike. RD is, I'm not sure, maybe Randall Miller, or is that Madman? I know both of them. I don't know RD so well, but Madman I was with for a while. And that leaves another one that didn't go to trial and get a life sentence when these guys did. And that is a guy by the name of Mad, aka Randy Yager. When the indictment was coming down, Randy Yager, or Mad, was tipped off that the shit was about to hit the fan. So, knowing what was about to happen, he grabbed his girlfriend, one of many. Her name was Margie, how do you pronounce her last name? Jelovcic, and skedaddled. First they went to Las Vegas, stayed a little while, and then they made their way down into Mexico. And you know what? Not so far from the Tijuana border, at a town called Rosarito. I used to frequent Rosarito or Ensenada when I was a kid, and let me tell you, it was not very grown up. There was a few bars, a few hotels along the way, and there was a beach called San Miguel that we used to go to, and that's where I used to stay. I have just been completely floored by the growth of Rosarito since I've been out of prison. I have seen photos, and it is nothing compared to what I've seen as a kid. Mad, or Randy, and Margie went to Rosarito and parked it. They became part of an expat community and blended in well. They went by Steve and Margie Rotham. Rotham, I think. I gotta make sure. Sorry guys. Sorry Outlaws. We don't want me to mess the story up. Where we go? Sorry, Rotham. I'll get there. Anyway, and it should be noted here that Margie was a concert violinist. She was widowed before meeting Yeager. She was working in a bar or a restaurant, and somehow the two clicked. This couple went to Rosarito and blended in and didn't leave that area for 17 years. Now, I know Mad, so I know a little bit more. That is that Margie did go into Ensenada sometimes. He did not. I'm not saying he never did. They did not go back into the United States whatsoever. But what they did was they operated a business as handyman, and they were always together. During the time that they were down there, people really trusted these two. As it says in an article of Vice magazine or Vice.com, if people were going to go out of town, they would give them the keys and let them, watch the house or do the repairs on the house. Really, really trusted members of the community. And let me say this, and I know there's a little bit of inside info. There were people that came from the United States that were law enforcement that knew exactly who Mad was and did not rat him out. Again, he became a member of that community down there, a trusted member of the community, and was really well liked. You'll see in media reports that he used to wear long sleeve shirts, and he did, and he's told me he did. That is to cover up his tattoos, although they say neo-Nazi white supremacist tattoos, of course, and that is BS. I mean, okay, yes, he was in a motorcycle gang. Yes, the motorcycle gang is predominantly white. I'm not sure, Outlaws, if you have any other race, I'm not sure. So, but anyway, they always have to throw that label no matter what in the press. But these two lived a quiet life, pretty simple life down in Rosarita for 17 years. And here's what went down. Let me get the exact date here, okay? They don't talk about, nowhere has talked about the truth about exactly what happened. And before I read this, I want to say this. At one point, Mad was going to write a book based on this story. The Outlaws, you guys, I'm not trying to put your business out there, but they have a policy that you're not supposed to write a book about any outlaw business or anything to do if you're an outlaw. So Mad was not going to write about outlaw business. He was going to write about this, but he sent word out. He's a true biker. He's about it. He sent word out, and then it kind of came back that, hey, we didn't want any press. Hence the guy named Fat Pete out of Chicago, who became this big, apparently was not an informant or rat, put a book out, and now everybody in the Outlaw Club hates him, including Mad and Madman. But anyway, so I was tied in with that. I was actually getting the contract together with Mad to do that, and he backed up at the last minute. I don't know. I haven't talked to him in some years now. I'm going to reach out to him and see if he wants to add to the story later. I don't know. Not about this stuff, but about his medical condition in prison, and I will get to that. So, Steve and Margie, aka Mad and Margie, were enjoying an afternoon in Mexico, and I'll say exactly what it was. On October 15th, the couple were relaxing and drinking at La Moroma, a bar styled to look like a beach shack at the entrance of the town, known for spring breakers and booze. Witnesses said the pair were there to, quote, eat steak and drink beer. Acting on information provided by the U.S. Marshals, Baja State Police officers arrived at the bar and confronted a man matching Yeager's description. He initially identified himself as David Michael Dorian and produced IDs with that name. Jelovcic, too, was questioned but was initially let go, Mexican authorities said, and she was not the target of the manhunt. And here we go. According to witnesses who spoke to Vice News in an exclusive interview, this is from Vice, by the way, as Yeager discussed his identity with the two Mexican officers, they discussed he was carrying a firearm. At that point, Margie suddenly fled the restaurant and drove off, leading other officers posted outside to chase her in patrol units. Authorities and witnesses said Margie, I'm saying her first name, drove north in the direction of the couple's home in a gated community called Rio Del Mar. After a few miles, she made a U-turn and attempted to return to the scene. After taking a highway off-ramp, Margie lost control of her vehicle, flipped 3 times, and was found dead beside her car, Baja State Police said. It happened in minutes. Adrian Garcia Estrada, public affairs chief for the Baja California State Police, told Vice. The woman fled in her car, and moments later, an intense high-speed chase lost her life. Okay. Initial reports suggested that Margie survived until she reached the hospital, but state authorities said that she was pronounced dead at the scene of the accident. She was found laying near a vehicle with a fake ID on her person, a gun nearby, and what officials described as a self-inflicted bullet wound to the head. And here's somebody else. They were packing heat all the time. Not in suitcases as you would expect from someone on the one regular to bar said. They had a suicide pact. If it went down, they would do it. They would both do it. Margie honored that pact, but he didn't. He's still breathing. one regular, a friend close to the couple told the news. Let me be clear about something. And I know Randy Mad well enough. They never told anybody they had a fucking suicide pact. That's bullshit. He wouldn't have done that. That did not happen. Also, Margie did not shoot herself in the head. She was shot by the Mexican authorities. Full stop. Killed by the police. So, maybe that could be a little breaking news. And Mad, when I get a hold of you or you get a hold of me, or your people do, I think you'll be grateful I put that out there. I think other people have, but it was all a bunch of bullshit. They killed her. Whether they had a suicide pact, I don't remember, and it doesn't matter. But and I think that they did not. And also, U.S. Marshals acted on a tip. You know how the U.S. Marshals found out where Randy was? There was a guy on a phone that was being tracked by one of the agencies, FBI, DEA, ATF, whatever. They picked up Mad's voice next to him. They weren't at this table. Mad wasn't talking to this guy. He was over here at this table. They picked up his voice. It was on voice recognition. The voice recognition then went back and said, hey, this guy right here that's talking, we don't know who he is, the guy that they were tapping or whatever, but we've got Randy Yager right over here. They're like, what? That's what happened down in Rosarito, Mexico. So remember, kids, if you're on the run, maybe you should shut up in restaurants. And don't throw cigarette butts on the ground, and don't drink out of glasses, and just pretty much stay hidden all the time. This was a love story for real. You can call it what you want. There's people that said, how did Randy get out? How did he get tipped off? I've heard all this when I was in prison. I've heard it all. Randy got away, 17 years on the run, and gets captured. And what truly was a love story. You got to call it like it is. Today, Randy Yager is sitting in federal prison, and he ultimately got 15 years. While at FCI Terre Haute, Randy had an injection in his back. I'm going to get in more to that. I'm going to get into more of that either by somebody who was with him when all this happened, by the name of Chappell. I'll interview him. Or if Randy himself, if I talk to him himself. I thought about this story a couple days ago. I did not reach out to him before I did this. Excuse me. I just burped from drinking soda. But I wanted to put something different out besides tapes, and this was a good one, and I've been wanting to do this for a while, actually. I thought about it the other day, but I thought about it a long time ago. I was going to reach out to him first. Also, I've had some outlaw people associated with the Outlaws a little upset, not so much, but a little upset because I said that Frank Wheeler was disillusioned with the club when he died. That's 100% true. And I'm not saying he wasn't proud to be a biker or whatever. He was disillusioned with the club when he died. Okay, and everybody in Terre Haute knew that Frank Wheeler and Madman, actually it was Mad and Madman, no longer talk to Frank Wheeler, or Frank no longer talk to them, whichever way you want to put it. Anyway, that's just a little bit of outlaw info. Again, I'm not divulging club secrets. That's stuff people knew, so you guys take it easy on me. No disrespect. I have big respect for Mad. I know people have made comments about this or that, had to get 15 years. I've heard it all. And the other guys got life, probably because he's old. That's their business. But very respectful, Viking for real. I will say that, and you guys know what I mean, Viking for real. They say he killed his brother and he did this and that. Wow. That doesn't apply to me, and I don't care. I don't judge people by their crimes, especially from a guy who was in prison for a long time. Big respect for Mad. The story is awesome. Probably didn't do enough justice. And yeah, there was people down in Rosarito that were definitely shook, and people that keep in contact with him to this day from Rosarito, Mexico. So that says something. If a person knows you're on the run, the expat communities, all anywhere out of the United States, they all got some outlaws in them, and I don't mean outlaw bikers. I just mean outlaws in general. So I'm sure people had their suspicions. I'm sure people knew, but Mad was not the person to ever open up his mouth. He would never tell anybody he had a suicide pact and packing heat openly and all that other garbage that's in the media. That's bullshit. So big respect for Mad. Respect for the Outlaws in general. Take care. I'm hoping there'll be more about his medical condition, about what he's experiencing and what's happened to him since. Peace out.